That, my friends, is a California Madrone dominant forest. Okay, so I promise you someday I'm gonna go down in there and I'm gonna walk up this stream really far and see where it starts, because there's always water in it. I've been saying this to myself for a long time, and unfortunately I didn't do it in time before all of it, well, not all of it, but a lot of it burned. So I am right, my ranch is in winters is about 25 miles as the crow flies to the east from St. Helena, California, which is just north of Napa. And there are these beautiful mountains between us. And there's a massive watershed for Lake Berryessa, and that supplies all the water to Benicia, Vallejo, Fairfield, and a whole bunch of farms in that vicinity. So there's these wild mountains. They only go up to about 3,000 feet, maybe 2,500 feet, but they're very, very, very cool. And most of it's private land, but I don't know, don't fence me in kind of thing. Don't fence me out. Don't fence me out. If you own that kind of land right there, there's a good chance I might just bootleg onto your property and take videos of all the cool plants out there. I'm just warning you. Hopefully you don't have automatic weapons. But whatever, I'll take my chances. This is God's country. No one owns this, really. You just have the right to call it your own for a little while. But anyway, this is a really beautiful section here. I'm not sure, it's probably more on the St. Helena side than my side. What's interesting about this mountain range is that first you have way over there the Pacific Ocean, okay? Then all the moist air comes off the Pacific Ocean. It hits the coastal range, and some of it rings out, but most of the moist air keeps intruding inland. Yeah, I know. That's leftover construction adhesive that's mixed with dirt, and I'm a working guy, what can I say? So anyway, the moist air comes in, and it provides a perfect climate for the grapes, which are in the Napa Valley over there. First, there's the Sonoma Valley. Then there's some hills, kind of like this, not as big, Napa Valley. And then there's a lot of mountains, like 20 miles of mountains. And these kind of mountains here. Then when those finally give out, right where my ranch is in winters, is the beginning of the Great Central Valley. And then you have about 60 miles, or I don't know, maybe 80 miles across. Hit the foothills. Then you're in the Sierra Nevada. Get to the top of that, drops off extremely fast, extremely steep on the backside of the Sierra, where all the aspen trees grow. Then you've got Nevada. You're about 4,000 foot elevation there, and anywhere from 6,000 to probably 8,000 to 14,000 in the Sierra. And then we could just keep going all the way across the country. Anyway, it's a section, but here, what's important, what's interesting, is that as this moisture comes across, the closer you are to the Pacific Ocean, the more moisture there is. And as soon as whatever moisture is left over, when it hits elevation and the air mass is forced up, it will condense and drop a lot of rainfall. So there's more rainfall on this side of these mountains than my side. We're sort of in the rain shadow effect, just like the backside of the Sierra is more dry than the west side. All the cold, all the air, the moisture-laden air comes in, goes up, squeezes all the moisture out, and snows like crazy, and then the backside doesn't really snow much. Yeah, so what's the point of all that? It's just interesting. So the Madrone, basically on the coast, you have the coastal redwood is the big, emblematic tree over there. There's all kinds of other stuff like lithocarpus and western cedars, and all kinds of hemlocks. But anyway, the real famous tree is the redwood, and that requires a lot of water. What's interesting about the redwood, and you could see here, I wanted to throw that in. What's interesting about the redwood is that it needs a ton of water, but a lot of that water can be had simply from condensing the moist air coming in the form of fog. For 7 months of the year, there's no rainfall, but there is fog. That's why redwoods are 360 feet tall. They want to get up into that fog cloud and have that fog hit it and condense it and drip down.
Okay, man?
I'm just taking a botanical video of this big Madrone forest.
All right.
I have a YouTube channel.
All right.
Plant nerd.
Just checking on you. Sometimes people break down,
Yeah. I'm just bummed. I was going to hike back there someday and see where all these conifers are growing up there, because it's kind of an anomaly, but I waited too long. They're all vaporized.
True. All went up in flames.
Yeah. Hey, thanks for checking, man.
Yeah. You have a good night.
So you must have had an accident up there, huh? See you, buddy. Yeah, so anyway, people are always wondering what I'm talking about when I'm talking about plants. I do look a little weird standing around I don't know, whatever, dirty. Look how dirty I am. I'm so dirty. Unshaved. I guess I do look suspicious. But anyway, look at this canyon, you guys. So where was I? So basically these redwoods stick their heads way up in the sky. They condense all this moisture and it comes down, waters the root system. And there's actually redwoods in this range just east of Napa are the farthest inland redwoods there are. They're in little canyons, little riparian canyons. They do capture some of the fog. The fog makes it that far. And then what ends up happening is the redwoods give out, because then there's just not enough moisture to support them. So then the next thing that really kicks into gear is, guess what? The Madrone. That's right, the Madrone. Madrones are typically, in this area, they're sporadic. And you don't often see continuous stands of Madrones, but here you do. It's pretty fabulous. I don't know if you can see, there's when the side lighting at the end of the day comes in, you can see the red bark just lit. And I don't know how well the zoom is working here. I can't even see what I'm looking at here. But if you look right there, and this is really hard to do. And just below that, right in there, you start seeing this exposed, smooth red bark. It's super beautiful. And so I always said, I'm going to hike back there and really check this whole canyon out. And you can see the other thing that's happening right here, it's interesting, is that this ridgeline faces north, okay? It comes down, faces north. So that way it's not being blasted by southern sun all day long, all winter long. Even in winter, things dry out and the ground dries out. But this is one just beautiful sponge-like thicket of evergreen, tropical-looking material. You have bay trees, basically. You have evergreen oaks, and predominantly you have Madrone, which I think is the most tropical-looking tree in all of California. There's a nice one down there. See if I can zoom in on that. It's evergreen, has a big lobed leaf. It's there. How's that? There, right there. And it has a real tropical leaf like a ficus. But the most beautiful thing of all about it is not only those things, but that coupled with the fact that it has a smooth red bark like no other. And so here you're looking at, oh, there's another one, look, right over there. Look, right there. See it? Seeing all the red bark right in there? So what's cool is that my favorite part of this forest is right here between St. Helena and my ranch. What's cool about it is that it didn't get vaporized in the last wildfires. As you can look up the valley, you can see that this whole slope over here got vaporized. You can see a lot of the toyon coming back, all those little sprigs, those little green spots. That's toyon aggressively coming in. Actually, it's probably oak as well, evergreen oak coming back. And now they're going to be big bushes instead of trees. But sadly, there's a big conifer forest back there, which is a bit of an anomaly, and that's where I really wanted to go hike up to. That whole thing up there. I wanted to go up and see if there's any redwoods growing. Those might be redwoods up there. But it all got burned. So, you ever heard of a dollar short and a day late? Yeah, well, whatever. You only do so much. But anyway, guys, there's also a really, really, really cool tree hanging on the edge of a cliff right around this corner. I'm a little burned out right now. I've been working all day. It's getting late, and it's actually half in shade. So, but I want to go show you that tree eventually. But I did want to show you this just amazing forest and talk about it a little bit. And that's pretty much it. You can see how fires burn. They burn up the slope. Down in the gully, they typically stop. If this fire was moving this way, sometimes they just stop right in the gully. This fire stopped naturally. No one stopped that. It stopped right in there. And then it didn't, this is all virgin here. It does not run across. So it'd be interesting to go see the interface right in there and see why the fire stopped. Is it like another gully? It's probably another gully that goes down like that and then back up. And then on this side of the gully, the wind was blowing this way, and it didn't bring the fire back this way, and then it just stopped right there naturally. So anyway, fires are intriguing, trees are intriguing. I think this Madrone is probably the coolest tree. I think it's really intriguing. I think it's really a relic of when California used to be tropical. And this is the best place to see them right here. So I'm gonna zoom in, let you guys continue your day. Sorry for all the rambling. At least I didn't get arrested for shooting a video, right? There you go. Beautiful lighting.